Yeah, you can start. Anybody can start. Spurti,
Ma'am, I'm already. Yes, ma'am.
you had shared it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can start.
I'll start, ma'am.
Yeah, you can start.
Ma'am, I got third program.
Yes, you can start.
Here, yes, ma'am. Consider an organization ABC which is having many
Spurti,
employees
Spurti,
and where employee.
Spurti. You open. I'm not able to see your word.
Ma'am, now.
No, you have not opened.
Ma'am, I have opened.
I'm not able to see your word. You have just opened shared the presentation, but word is not visible. Can you rejoin,
Ma'am, one
relog
second,
in?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. 1 second.
Ma'am, can you hear
Ma'am,
me?
now.
Sorry.
Ma'am, now you can see. Ma'am, now you can see.
Spurti presentation is there, but word is not there.
Ma'am, shall I present, ma'am, Vaishnavi?
Ma'am, I will.
Yes, Vaishnavi, you can present. Anyone.
Ma'am, is it visible? I got second program, ma'am. Ma'am, is it visible, ma'am? Now, ma'am?
Vaish, yeah, now it is visible. Yeah, Vaishnavi.
Okay, ma'am. I got second program, ma'am. Consider a cricket tournament, ABC Cup, organized by an organization, ma'am. In this, we have many teams, and we are taking as team ID as primary key and team name, city, and coach. Each team is uniquely identified by using team ID. A team can have many players and a captain. Each player is using uniquely identified by player ID, having a name and multiple phone number, age. In this, we are taking as team ID, stadium ID, and player ID as primary key, ma'am. And we need to display there each match owned by any of the one team that also wants to record in database for each man of the match award given to the player. First, for this we need to create a table for player. Create table player. Here we are taking primary key as player ID, and their attributes are mm, player attributes are player name, age, varchar, and phone number. The player name and age will are varchar, and phone number we are taking as number. Next, we need to create table for team, and their attributes are team ID, team name, city, coach, captain, and we are referring from references from player table like player ID we are referring now. Next, we need to create for match, create table match, and their attributes are match id, matched, primary key we are taking that as primary key, result, and we are referring team id from team table, and man of the match and we are player ID we are referring from player table. Next we need to create stadium table. In that stadium ID is varchar and its primary key, stadium name, city, varchar, area and pin code. Next table is place. Create table place matched varchar. We are referring from match table. Team ID 1 reference from team and team ID 2 references from team table. Next stadium ID we are referring from stadium table match date and time. Next we need to create table for played for. Here we are taking their attributes are player ID and team ID. Next, for all the table, we need to insert into player values, player ID, player name, age, and phone. So we are inserting some of the values. After we need to insert for team values. For team values, we need to insert for team ID, team name, and city, coach, and captain. Next, for match, we need to insert for match result and man of the match. Next, for stadium and place and played for. The first query is display the youngest player with in terms of age, name, age in he belongs to the tournament. So in this we need to display the youngest player in the tournament. First we need to select distinct p dot player name and t dot t name comma p dot age from player p p team t where p dot player id equals t dot captain and p dot age. In select minimum we have to select an younger player, so we are taking it as minimum from p dot age from player p. Next, first query, select p dot player name comma t dot t name p dot age from player p player p team t comma played for pf where p dot player id equals pf dot player id and t dot team id equal to pf dot team id and p dot age. In select minimum from player table. Here we get player name with two younger player Rahul. He played for Delhi and his age is 32. He played for two like Delhi and RCB. Next, we need to display list the details of the stadium where the maximum number of matches were played. We need to display the maximum matches played in this stadium. For this, we need to select S dot stadium ID count. We are counting how many matches played in the stadium. M dot match from place P stadium S match M where P dot stadium ID equals S dot stadium ID and P dot match equals M dot match group by S dot stadium having count M dot match equals select max count. We are counting here how many matches played in the stadium from place P group by P dot stadium. In stadium when they played 4 matches, so count equals 4. We are getting 4. Next, list the details of the player who is not a captain but got man of the match award at least in 2 matches. Select p dot player id, p dot player name from player where p dot player id in select p dot player id from player p minus select t dot captain from team t player p intersect common intersect means it will select from common table. Select m dot man of the match from man match m group by m dot man of the match having count m dot match mm, greater than or equals to 2. Here we are displaying uh, details of the player who is not captain but got man of the match. So player player 3 and Virat. Next, display the team details who won the maximum matches. We need to display the team who won maximum matches. Select m dot result, count m dot match from man match m team t where t dot team id equals m dot result group by m dot result having count m dot matched equals select max count by count m dot match from match m group by m result. Here two team T03 and T02. Next query. Display the team name where all its own matches played in the same stadium. We need to display the own matches played in the same stadium. Next, select m dot match, m dot result, p dot stadium id, t dot city, s dot city from match m place p team t stadium s where m dot matched equals p dot matched and s dot stadium id equals p dot stadium id and m dot result equals t dot team id and s dot city equals t dot city. Here we need to display the matches owned in the same stadium. So matched result stadium id city. Match 1 team 1 and stadium in 1 Mumbai city Mumbai. For update we need to write query as update stadium set city equals Mumbai where stadium id equals S01. Next ER diagram. We are taking here 4 table like player, team, match, stadium and their attributes are phone number, player ID we are taking as primary key, age, player name. Player is a captain of team, which team? Like team attributes are T name, city, coach, and TID is a primary key. Next match attributes, match ID is a primary key. Stadium attributes are stadium ID is a primary key, stadium name, city, area, and pin code. Match which played in the stadium. Schema diagram. Team has team ID, team name, coach, captain ID, city. Where team ID is a primary key. Player ID, player name, age, team ID. Here we are referring in player we are referring the team from team table, and in stadium it has attributes SID, S name, pin code, city, area. Next, in matches, MID, date, time, stadium ID, team 1 ID, team 2 ID, winning team ID, man of the match. Here in team, we are referring TID in player and stadium and in match also. Next, player phone. In player phone, we have primary key as phone number and PID. That's all, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am,
Vaishnavi.
shall I present?
Next person.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, attendance,
Spurti.
ma'am.
Next person. Yes, Purti was in the queue. Purti, you can start.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, attendance, ma'am.
Yeah, Rashmi, I'll take it. I'll take it later.
Ma'am,
ma'am,
sharing.
Deepika also, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
Purti,
ma'am.
you can do it. Yeah, I will take. I'll call again.
Okay.
Visible.
Spurti, your this is there, but word is not available. Word, can you see how the word is? Word
Ma'am,
is not,
I
I'm not
have
able to see your
network
word.
problem.
What's your problem?
Have network problem. Like it's open. It will take seconds. Have opened.
Word, I'm not able to see your word.
Now you can.
Represent. Can anyone help Spurti how to represent? She's not able to do.
Ma'am,
Spurti, don't represent. Let it be like that. It will show. If you represent,
But
it
why?
will be delay again.
Oh, network problem. So it is so delayed.
Yeah, ma'am. If she stays like this, it will show, ma'am.
No. Sometimes even when we are
Ma'am, we
owning this
can do
Google
like,
Meet, no?
Ma'am, we can share anyone and
Yes,
she can
Pavitra.
explain in that, ma'am.
Yeah, that we can do. Spurti, that you can do. Spurti, ask one of your
Okay,
friend
ma'am.
to open your word. Yeah, that you can do. Even when I am opening
Can
now,
someone
2-3
please
times, it will be
share
same thing.
third program?
Yeah, someone can help her.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, someone can help for Spurti. Spurti, you stop presenting. Someone can help you. You can start.
Yes, ma'am. Can someone please open third program?
Yes, I'll show it. Oh, they okay.
Can you please zoom it up little bit?
Increase the size.
Ma'am, shall I start?
They will increase the size.
Ma'am, shall I start? Yes, ma'am. Employees works for one department, and each employee is identified by employee ID, which is having a name, address, and house number, city, pin code, and where one more having department location, and where each department is having a manager and employees, and there are like many projects, and each project is controlled by a department, and where employee works for many projects per week, and employee also need to be recorded in the database, it which is work for many employees, and employee supervised by the supervisor, gender, age, address, and dependencies are identified by employee ID. And could you please come down, scroll down, scroll down. And here we create a table employee ID, where employee ID is a primary key, and which is having a employee name and address, and employee super employee ID, which is having a department number. Which we create a table that is employee, and next we create a table which is employee phone numbers, where employee ID is the primary key, which is having a different attributes, that is employee ID, phone number, etc. And we are here, and again we alter table employee and foreign key, which is having a we refer that from employee, which is having an employee ID. And next we create a table that is department, where department number is the primary key, and department name, department location, manager ID, those are the different attributes. And next again we create a table which is project, and where their project number is the primary key, and project name, project location, department number, reference department is different attributes. And next we create a table works on, and here employee ID is the primary key, and we refer that employee ID, which is all referred from employee ID, and reference project. And next we create a table dependent, which is in this also employee ID is the primary key, which is referred from employee ID, dependent name. And next, we insert a values, that is employee values, employee ID, employee name and address, and super employee ID and department number. We insert a value for that. And next, uh, we uh, we insert a value to the employee phone, that is employee ID, phone number. Yeah. And next we insert a value to the department values, that is department number, department name and department location and department manager ID. And next we insert a project values, that is having project number, project name, project location and department number. And next we again insert a values for the works on values, that is employee ID, project number and hours. Yes. And next we insert a value for dependent values, that is employee ID, dependent name and gender, address and age. And next, the queries. Here we display the details of employees who are working on both the projects having project number 5 and 10. Employee which is having a employee project works on, and again employee project works on employee ID and project number, and it displays the employees which are working for the project number 5 and 10. And next is display the details of employees having at least two dependents. That is, we select this from employee where employee ID, select from employee where employee ID, where select employee ID from, could you please come down, and where from dependent which is having a group by employee ID having count. And next display the project name on which more number of employees are working. And here we select project number from project name and from project where project number in works on group by project number having count employee ID, uh, and it displays the project name on which is having a more number of employees working. And next is retrieve the employees who do not have any dependents. That is, here we select that from employee where employee ID in employees which minus select employee ID from dependent. It displays the employees who do not have any dependents. Next, display the employee details whose total number of hours per week working on various projects in maximum than all other employees. Here we select employee where employee ID in works on group by employee ID having some hours. Yes, and it displays the total number of hours per week who are working in the maximum than all other employees. Next, we create a view to display the number of employees working in each department. We create a view number from employee per department as we select from the employee, that is having count employee ID as per employee from employee group by department number. And here it displays the number of employees working in each department. Scroll down, and in this employee is the, that is ms to n relation, that is which is having an employee different attribute, that is supervisors, employee name, employee ID, address, which has a dependent, that is name, gender, age and address. And here works on, which is having ms to n relation, again number of hours, and again project, that is project number, project name and project location. And next which is having a department, and again it is department name, department number and department location. Yes, which is controlled by the manager. Scroll down, and here again employee which is having employee ID, name and address, super employee ID, department number, and again project number, project name, project location and department number. Here department number which is related to the department, which is from department number, department name and department location. And again dependent, here name, gender, age and address, employee ID which is from employee, first one that is employee ID, and next is employee project, that is employee ID, project number, and next here employee ID which is from employee id. X is having employee phone, that is employee ID and phone number. Employee ID again it is from employee ID. Ma'am, it's done.
Ma'am, can
Yes,
I
Purti. Fine, fine,
Thank you,
Purti.
ma'am. Thank you,
Other
Deepmalya.
person can start.
Ma'am,
Yeah, one
Share,
person.
ma'am.
Gangubai
Just
has shared.
yes, ma'am. Just execution.
Gangubai, you're sharing. You have shared in mobile.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can start. Savita, one person can start, not two people at a time. One by one.
Ma'am, it is visible, ma'am.
You have stopped, Gangubai. You have stopped.
Uh,
Savita started sharing. Savita, you're explaining.
is this visible, ma'am?
Open your word. Open your word.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Your word is not opened. Your word is not open, Savita.
now, ma'am.
Yeah, now it is okay.
Okay. I got fourth program, ma'am. Here we are going to create a 4 tables, that is tourist place, tourist, visit and email. First, create a table tourist place, TP ID as a primary key and history is a type worker and TP name as a worker. Then create a table tourist to TID is a primary key. Then create a table visit TPID. This is a reference from the tourist place TPID. Then we have come to now inserting a value into a tourist place, then tourist and visit and email. Tourist place values are TPID, history, kilometer, state, and TP name. Then tourist values having a TID, country, age, and T name. Then insert into values. Visit values are TPID, TID, and VDate. Then email having a TID and email. Then come to a query. First query is list and state name which is having maximum number of tourist places. Here we are going to display only the state which is having the maximum tourist place. That is select state from tourist place group by state having count of state equals to select max of count of state from tourist place group by state. Output is four states: Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Karnataka. Second query is list details of tourist place where maximum number of tourists visited. Here we are going to display the places where the maximum number of tourists visited. The output is beach and temple. Two places are visited. Then third query is list the details of tourists visited all the tourist places of the state Karnataka. Here we taking Karnataka. They only mentioned state of Karnataka. The state of Karnataka place must be visited all the tourists. Then fourth query. Display the details of the tourists visited at least one tourist place of the state, but visited all the state's tourist places. In a state, there are maybe a many tourist places, but we are going to display only the tourists visited all the places of that state. Then fifth one is display the details of the tourist place visited by the tourists of all country. Here we are going to display the tourist of all country visited the tourist places. Output of beauty and beach. Then is this schema diagram of this program. Tourist place, email and visit. Tourist place having TID, T name, age and country. TID is the primary key. Then tourist place having a TPID, T name, state, history and kilometer. Then email having a TID and email. TID is reference from the tourist. Then visit having a TID, TPID, VDate. TID is visit reference from the tourist. Then TPID is reference from the tourist. Sorry, TPID reference from the tourist place and TID is reference from the tourist. Then ER diagram. ER diagram, tourist and tourist place are the entities and visit are the relationships between tourist and tourist place, that is many to end relations. Tourist having a 4 attributes, country, age, TID and T name, and tourist place having 5 attributes, kilometers, TPID, T name, history and state. Next one, ma'am.
Yes, Savita. Next person. Next, who want to present?
Ma'am, Gangubai.
Yes, Gangubai, you can show.
Ma'am, is
Yeah, it is visible. Increase the size. Yeah, increase the size.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, now. Ma'am.
Yes, it is visible. You can start and you can explain.
Okay, ma'am. I got fourth program, ma'am. Tourist organization. In this, we are creating 4 tables, ma'am. Tourist place, tourist visits, and email, ma'am. In this creating table, tourist place, TPID number is a primary key. History of type work, yeah, kilometers, state, and TP name means tourist place name of type worker, ma'am. And creating second table with a tourist. In this TID means the tourist ID number as a primary key. Country of type worker, age, T name of type worker. When third table is visits. In this TPID number is reference from the table tourist place, and TID number is reference from the tourist, and VDate visitor date as a primary key. And the fourth table is email. In this TID number is reference from the table tourist, email as of type worker as a primary key. Then we are going to insert the values into the table tourist place, tourist and visits, email, ma'am. Next, we are having the queries. Here in first query, list the state name which is having maximum number of tourist place. Here we are going to display the only the states having the maximum of tourist place. And we have the query like select the state from tourist place, group by state having count of state is equal to select max count of state from tourist place, group by state. And we have group by we are using to display this only state's name, ma'am, and count is the aggregate function. And we got the result: state Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Karnataka. And the second query is that list details of tourist place where maximum number of tourists visited. To display the details of tourists where the maximum number of tourists visited, we have the query like select star where select TPID from visits group by TPID having count of TPID is equal to select max of count TPID from visits group by TPID. And we got the result at two result, ma'am. And third query we have list the details of tourist all tourist place of the state Karnataka. This means we are going to list the details of tourists, those who are visited the all places in the Karnataka, ma'am. And we have the query like select the star from tourist T where T dot TID in select TID from visits join tourist place on tourist dot TPID is equal to tourist place dot TPID where state is equal to Karnataka. So group by TID having count of state in select count of state from tourist place where state is equal to Karnataka. And we got the result. And the fourth query is display the result of the tourist visited at least one tourist place of the state but visited all the state's tourist place. Here we are going to display the details of tourist visited at least one tourist place of the state but visited all the state tourist place, ma'am. And we are having the query like select star from tourist where T dot TID in select TID from visit join tourist place on visits dot TPID is equal to tourist place dot TPID group by TID having count of distinct state in select count of distinct state from tourist place. And we got the result TID as 23, country USA, age 20, and T name HIT. And the fifth question is that display the details of the tourist place visited by the tourist of all country. This is we are going to display the details of tourist place visited by the tourists of all country. And we have the query like select star from tourist place where TPID in select TPID from visits join tourist on visits dot TID is equal to tourist dot TID group by TPID having count of distinct country is equal to select count distinct country from tourist, ma'am. And we got the result TPID 11 history like this we got the result, ma'am. Then schema diagram, ma'am. We are having tourist in tourist we are having TID, T name, age and country. In tourist place we have TPID, TP name, state, history and kilometer. And email we are having TID email and TID is reference from the table tourist. And visitors we are having TID, TPID and VDate. In visitor TPID we are reference from the table tourist place and TID we are referring from the table tourist, ma'am. Next this ER diagram, ma'am. In ER diagram we are having the two entities tourist and tourist place. And relationship visits many to end relation. And in tourist we are having the attributes like country, age, TID, T name. TID is a primary key. And in tourist place we are having the attributes like kilometers, history, state, and TP ID, TP name, in visits, visitors date, ma'am. That's it, ma'am.
Yes, Gangubai. Yes, Gangubai.
Shall I present, ma'am? Ma'am, can I share now?
Ma'am,
Yes, one by one. One by
ma'am, I
one.
want to,
Yeah, ma'am. I will share.
ma'am, I want to show that fifth program, ma'am.
Yeah, one by one. One by one.
Ma'am, actually, my
Ma'am, Harshit ma'am.
sharing, ma'am,
Exit.
Shashi, sir.
Hey, Harshit, I already presented. Cancel, cancel.
Will
I mind execution, man. That's it.
excuse me, ma'am.
How many people are showing to me at a time? Which one should I see? Gangubai is presenting. Harshit is presenting. Pavan is
Ma'am, fifth program is remaining, ma'am, so I'm showing.
Yes, one can present. One can present. One can present. Pavan or who is that?
Yeah, ma'am. Presenting.
Someone is presenting.
Ma'am, Harshit.
Ma'am, screen sharing is not working, ma'am, so I'm showing like this.
Wait, Gangubai, Harshit has shown. You wait for some time. You have to explain, Harshit. You're just scrolling out. How will I know which one what? If you just scroll, you have to explain, no? Just scroll madadre.
Ma'am, mic problem. Wait minute. 1 minute, ma'am. Wait. Ma'am, first program, ma'am. First. Ma'am, can you hear? Hello.
Yes, yes, Harshit.
Ma'am,
Yes.
here is a table.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
Here we created a table.
ನಿನ್ ಕಡೆನೇ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ.
Table.
ನಿನ್ ಕಡೆನೇ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ.
Okay, ma'am. Now, ma'am, it's clear, ma'am.
ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. ಎಲ್ಲಿದೀಯಾ? ರೋಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೀಯಾ? ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಲೈಕ್ ಮನೆ ಆಚೆ ಇದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅಂತ ಆಚೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಸರ್.
ಆಯ್ತು. ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ನಿನ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ನೇ ಕೇಳಪ್ಪ.
ಅದೇ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಆಚೆ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಮನೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಟೆರೇಸ್ ಹತ್ರ ಮೇಲಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಆಯ್ತು ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಈ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ದ ಟೇಬಲ್ and next we have inserted the values and next it is the like queries ma'am. We have entered here queries. And next ma'am I'll show second program ma'am. Here also like we enter the table, then insertion done ma'am, and then next queries ma'am. Here next ma'am fourth program. Here also same ma'am, we have entered the table, next inserted the values, then queries ma'am. That's it ma'am.
Okay, next person.
Ma'am, all 5 programs also executed ma'am. So
Okay.
thank you ma'am.
Ma'am, I am sharing.
Yes, Pawan.
Fifth program explanation, ma'am. In this, it's regarding elections for the parliament. Here we are having 5 tables, ma'am. Constituency, voter, candidates, party, and contest. In constituency, we are having like constituency ID and all. In voter ID, name, age, address, etc. These are the in constituency table, ma'am. Constituency ID, constituency name, state, number of voters. Constituency ID type is
Yes, Pawan, what happened?
Ma'am, this is Srinivas. Can I present?
Yes, Srinivas.
Ma'am, is the screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, Srinivas, it is visible.
Yes, ma'am. I got the same as Pawan's. It's for the elections, where we need to create a tables like different 5 tables we need to create and execute all those 5 queries. First table is constituency, where constituency ID is a primary key and followed by name, state, and number of voters. Second one is party, where PID is the primary key and party name and symbol is a attribute. And we have candidates table, where candidate ID is a primary key followed by phone number, age, state, name, and PID. And we have contest, where constituency and candidate ID is a foreign key. Then yes, insert. We have inserted values for all those things. Queries, ma'am.
Okay.
We need to list the details of candidates who are contesting from more than one constituency which belongs to different states. We are having a condition this which displays that. And second query is display the state name having maximum number of constituency. We are displaying that using this select max. And we need to create a procedure or function which takes an age as an argument and calculates whether it is an ideal age or not. If we post 21, it will display it is an valid age. So yeah, create a stored procedure to display the number of voters specified in the. Yes, if we pass a constituency name, it will display the number of voters in it. And we need to create a trigger, like whenever the voter is inserted, the constituency should be updated. Constituency table should be updated. And we have a schema diagram here, and we have constituency, candidate, voter, party, and contest where constituents ID, candidate ID, and voter ID and PID are the primary keys, and these two are the foreign keys. And we have 4 entities which have many attributes here, which is related by contest. So yes, ma'am.
Yes, Srinivas. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, I will share now, ma'am. Call.
Yes. Yes.
Same, ma'am. Fifth program. Here we have 5 tables. Constancy table data is this. Party table values, PID, PMP symbol. Yeah, ma'am. Candidate values. In this, candidate ID is primary key and remaining are normal. Contest values. Voter values, VID, VName, age, address. Constance ID, candidate ID, we are referring from the tables. Now here first query, ma'am. Here we are displaying the candidates who are contesting from more than one constitution, which belongs to different states, ma'am. This query will execute this, ma'am. Next, in second query, we are displaying the state name having maximum number of constituencies. We'll get this output, ma'am, like constituency states. Now in third query, first we are creating a procedure. Like it will check, ma'am, like if we execute this, it will check whether the procedure successfully completed or not. If the age is less than 18, it should show some error, ma'am, like not an eligible voter message, this one. In fourth, we are creating a stored procedure to display the number of voters in the specified constituency. Like now, before, like it should insert the data. We'll check this. In fifth one, we are creating a trigger to update the count of number of voters in constituency table. Like before, if values are like in that constituency, 4 voters are there. After inserting, like after creating a trigger, if we insert, it will store the new value, ma'am, like new one. And here we are having schema diagram. In this constituency table, candidate, voter, party, and contest. Here, constituency ID, candidate ID, VID, and party ID are the primary keys. These arrows indicates like we are referring the primary key of that table to another table. And this one is ER diagram, ma'am. 4 tables: candidate ID, voter, party, and constituency. The relation between candidate and constituency is this one, ma'am, contest. And candidate belongs to this party. And the attributes of candidates are age, candidate ID, name, state, phone, etc. Candidate ID is primary key. Voter, VID, VName, age, ma'am, address. Voter belongs to constituency. In constituency, constituency ID, name, state, number of voters. And that's it, ma'am.
Okay, next.
Ma'am, Kishore, can I present, ma'am?
Yes, Kishore. Ravi is also waiting.
Yes, ma'am.
One by one. Yes, Ravi. After Kishore, you can.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Kishore. Yes, Kishore.
Ma'am,
Increase
I
the
got
size. Increase the size. Increase the size. Yeah, fine. Yeah, you can start.
ma'am, I got fourth program, ma'am. Tourist
Okay.
to we create a tables, ma'am. Tourist place, tourist visit and email. We have insert the tables, ma'am. Ma'am, first query is list to the state name which is having maximum number of tourists, ma'am. Select state from tourist place group by state having counter. Ma'am, here got output. He got output. Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala, Karnataka. This is the second query, ma'am. List details of tourist place. Maximum tourist visited. We got output, ma'am. D
Tourist and
hello.
Yeah, Kishore. Yes,
Ma'am, this
explain,
is
Kishore.
yeah, ma'am. This is third query, ma'am. We got tourist ID and country age name. Tourist ID is 22 and country is India. Age is 30, ma'am. Name is Chinni. We display the another query, ma'am. This is the details of the tourist visited at least one tourist place of the state, but visited all the states of tourist places. All state of tourist places. We have one only, ma'am. At least one place was visited in tourist. Tourist ID is 23. Country is USA. Age is 20. Tourist name is Hitu, ma'am. We display the another query, ma'am. Display the details of the tourist place visited by the tourist of all country. Um, we have two tourist play tourist place ID is there, ma'am. And 11 and 13 history is beauty and beach. Kilometers is 190 and 290. State is Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, ma'am. Tourist place name is Mysore and Marina, ma'am. Marina. And this is India diagram, ma'am. We have tourist and tourist place and M and N place visits are there. The tourist we have four attributes are there, ma'am. Country and age, tourist ID and tourist name. Tourist place we have five attributes, ma'am. Kilometer and history, state, tourist place ID and tourist name. And these are the M and N visits the update, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Ma'am, and again I will show sure, ma'am. Ma'am, I have even one program I will not show, ma'am. This is the third program, ma'am. This is the third program, ma'am. Inserted values, ma'am. This is the queries. queries, ma'am. This is the queries. This is the fifth program, ma'am. Inserted the virus, ma'am. Inserted values, and we have now fifth program. We have I got only four queries, ma'am. One query is error, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. That's it, ma'am.
Okay, next person.
Ma'am, I will show programs, ma'am. Three
Ma'am,
programs
can I
I
share,
created,
ma'am?
Kishore, you are still doing something. Wait, Nishant.
ma'am. I remaining three programs I will show later, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Nishant, you can start. Ravi started. Okay. What is this backside? Something is there.
Yes, ma'am. Can you see, ma'am?
Okay. Yes, I am able to see Ravi. You can start.
Yes, I got first one, ma'am.
Yeah.
Here, ma'am. Here, ma'am. Here we have table branch, student, book, author, and borrow. Here, now here is query, ma'am. Now, firstly, I am creating table. Create table branch where attribute a branch ID. This is a primary key. Data type where just like that, ma'am. Second one, ma'am. Create table student. USN is a where USN data type where and this is a USN, ma'am, primary key. And other one like address, same branch ID, like that, man. Third one, ma'am, author table, create author table. Author ID is a primary key, and other one like author name, country, age, number, like that, ma'am. Fourth one, create table book, ma'am. The book ID is a primary key, where book name, author ID references through author ID. This is ma'am, foreign key. If you want to sort table description, ma'am, using a DSC book, like a describe book, name, book ID, book name, author ID, publisher, branch ID, ma'am. Fifth one, table borrow, ma'am. Here USN is a references to student USN and references to book ID, borrow date, data type where, ma'am. Now insert the value in branch, ma'am. Branch ID, branch name, HOD. Using select strip from branch, show that value B1, B2, like that, MCA. Second, insert into student value. Here the value, ma'am. USN name, address, same branch ID. Third one is insert into author value here, ma'am. Like insert into book, insert into borrow, ma'am. Now, ma'am, here the query, ma'am. First query lists the detail of student who all studying second semester, same and MCA. Here, ma'am, select s.usn, s.name. Here, s using like alias, ma'am, and same branch name from a student. We want to who is studying in MCA and second sem. That's the result, ma'am. S.1 name Asa, address Bengaluru, same 2, branch name MCA. Second query lists the student who are not borrowed any book. Query, ma'am, select USN name borrow student, where USN in select USN from a student, minus select distinct from USN from borrow. Here, ma'am, USN 007 name Chiru and 0S08 Chini. Third query, when display the USN student name, branch name, book name, author name, book borrowed, date of second sem MCA student who borrowed books, ma'am. Here using select distinct. Ma'am, distinct we didn't require multiple. That's why using distinct. And s dot USN, s dot name, b dot branch name, b dot book name. Like s also already described, ma'am. Yes, using alias, ma'am. Query like that, ma'am. You can see s.1 Asai, MCA Ramu Sudha, date, ma'am, like that. This fourth one will display the number of book written by each author. Here select a author ID, count book ID from book B, author where B dot author ID is equal to A dot author ID group by author ID. Here, ma'am. Fifth query, and display the student detail who borrowed more than 2 books. Here you want more than 2 books. That's why select yes dot USN count. Using count, we want if you want number of books using count, ma'am. That's the result. USN S01 count book 5. Sixth query, display the student detail who borrowed book more than one author. Here, ma'am, using select dot s dot USN count other a dot author ID from student s dot borrow b book bk author a where USN is equal to bo dot USN and book ID, like that, ma'am. Using this query, USN s not 1 count a author ID 5, s not 3 2. Seventh one, ma'am, display the book name in descending order of their names. Select using select exit from book order by book name. This DSC command book ID, book name, author ID, publisher branch ID, ma'am. Here, ma'am. Eighth one, list the detail of student who borrowed the book, which all published by the same publisher, ma'am. Select s dot USN, s dot name, b dot book name, b dot publisher from a student. Yes, dot book, book dot borrowed by variation dot, like that, ma'am. USN 0 dot s dot s not 4 where name Dev S, book name ST, publisher TTT. Here, ma'am, schema diagram, branch ID, branch name, and HOD, student attribute USN name, address same and branch ID, book attribute, book ID, book name, publisher branch ID, that, and author ID, book name, country, age, and borrow USN book ID, borrow date. Here, ma'am, book branch ID, USN book ID, author ID, these are the primary key, ma'am. And reference branch ID references through student table branch ID, and branch ID also reference to book table branch ID, author and student USN reference to borrow table USN, like that, ma'am. And now wait, ma'am. Schema diagram, ma'am. Now ER diagram, ma'am. Here, ma'am, entity. One second.
Yes,
ma'am.
yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Here, ma'am, entity branch, student, author, book, attribute branch ID, branch name, HOD, and student and USN name, address same. And author attribute and author ID, author name, country, age. Book entity is attribute are like that, ma'am. Author ID, book ID, publisher. That's it, ma'am.
Okay, Ravi.
Done,
Okay.
ma'am.
Next person. Next person.
Ma'am, can I present, ma'am?
Yes, one by one. One by one. You people decide who will present. One by one.
Ma'am, after Nishant Priyanka present, ma'am.
Make it fast. I will give only till 12:45 is my time. After that, no, because again afternoon I have lab again.
Ma'am, here first program execution, ma'am. Ma'am, here tables are described, ma'am. And for tables inserted values, ma'am, here. Ma'am, this is the first query, ma'am, and this is second query. This is fourth and this is fifth, sixth. This is seventh, eighth, and this is third query, ma'am. Ma'am, now I am explaining fifth program, ma'am. Ma'am, I got fifth program, and this is here we are creating the constancy table, ma'am. Create table constantly. Const ID is the primary key, ma'am, and constant name, state, and number of votes, ma'am. Here table is described, ma'am, and creating the party table, ma'am, here, and candidate table, and candidate ID is the primary key for the table, ma'am. Ma'am, this is the contest table, ma'am. This is contest ID is the reference key of the constantly table, and candidate ID is the reference key of candidate table, ma'am. And we are creating the voter table, ma'am, and voter ID is the VID is the primary key for this table, ma'am. And here we are inserting the tables.
Yes, what happened? What happened, Nishant?
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
Gangabai.
Yes.
Ma'am, fifth program one ತೋರಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ಲ
ನಿಶಾಂತ್ ಮುಗಿಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲೋದವನ ನಿಶಾಂತ್ ನಿಶಾಂತ್ ತೋರ್ಸಮ್ಮ
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್
ತೋರ್ಸಮ್ಮ
ನನ್ನ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಶೇರ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ಲಾ?
ಆಯ್ತು ತೋರ್ಸಮ್ಮ.
ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಒಂದು 2 times ಎರರ್ ಬಂತು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಂತು ಅದು.
ಆಯ್ತಮ್ಮ.
ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಆಯಿತು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ತೋರಿಸೋದು.
ಆಯ್ತಮ್ಮ.
Ma'am, Kishore, can you present to remaining two programs, ma'am?
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am. Wait, ma'am. I will present. Remaining one and two program I will show now, ma'am. This is the first one, ma'am. I have created tables and I inserted the values, ma'am. These are the inserted values, ma'am. We have queries, ma'am. I will execute the queries also, ma'am. This is the first one, ma'am, and second one, and third, and fourth one, and the last fifth one, ma'am. And second one we inserted. This is second one. I inserted the values and create the tables. This is the queries, ma'am. 1, 2, 3, 4, and fourth one is also we have one error, ma'am. Remaining all executed, ma'am. That's it, ma'am.
Okay, next person.
Ma'am, I will show all programs and explain also.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, can I
Ma'am, fourth program, ma'am.
Okay.
We are creating table tourist place, tourist visits and email. In tourist place, TP ID number, primary key, history, kilometers, state and TP name. In table tourist, TP ID number, primary key, country, age, T name. In table visits, TP ID number, reference, tourist place, TID number, VDate as a primary key, and table email, TID number, and tourist email, primary key. We are inserting values, tourist place values and tourist values, visits and email. In first query, list the state name which is having maximum number of tourist place. Select state from tourist place group by state having count state equals select maximum of count state from tourist place group by state. Display the 4 states. And second query, list details of tourist place where maximum number of tourists visited. Select star from tourist place where TPID, select TPID from visits group by TPID having count. TPID is equal to select maximum of count TPID from visits group by TPID. Here display TPID, history, kilometer, state, TP name. In third query, list the details of tourists visited all tourist places of the state Karnataka. Select star from tourist T where TID. In select TID from visits, join tourist place on visits. TPID is equal to tourist place TID where state is equal to Karnataka, group by TID having count state in select count state from tourist place where state is equal to Karnataka. Display TPID, country, age and T name. Fourth one, display the details of the tourist visit at least one tourist place of the state but visit all the states tourist place. Select star from tourist T where TID in select TID from visits, join tourist place on visits TPID equal tourist place TPID group by TID having count distinct state in select count distinct state from tourist place. Display the TID, country, age and name. Last query, display the tourist place visited by the tourist of all countries. Select star from tourist place where TPID in select TPID from visits join tourist on visits.tid equal tourist TID group by TPID having count distinct country equal select count distinct country from tourist. Display TPID history kilometer state and TP name. Schema diagram in tourist entity TID, T-name, age and country. In tourist place entity TPID, T-name, state, history and kilometer. In email entity TID, email, visits, TID, TPID, VDate. In tourist entity reference to email TID. In tourist TID reference to visits TPID and tourist place entity reference to email TID. Next ER diagram here. Here entity tourist and tourist place visits many to end relationship. In tourist country age TID T name are attributes. TID is a primary key. In visits VDate. In tourist place kilometer history state TPID T name. TPID as the reference primary key. That's all, ma'am.
Okay, next person.
Ma'am, can I present?
Okay.
Ma'am, the executions of all the programs.
Hmm.
Ma'am, this is the first program. And here I have like described the brand, the table, and one second, ma'am. Yeah. Then I've shown the table, and this is the second table student, and it is also shown over here. Then the third table author, and the values over here. Then book and the values. Then borrow table and the values. And this is the first query. This is the first query, and this is the second query. And then, ma'am, this is the third query. This one. And then one second. And the third query, then yeah. Then, ma'am, this is the fourth one over here. Then the fifth one. Then I was having some error. Then the sixth. Then the seventh. In this that all the book name has been viewed in descending order. Then last the eighth one. This was the first program, ma'am. And then, ma'am, the second program where all the tables I have created. The first table is player, and then team, then match table, then stadium table, and then place table, then played for table. And ma'am, this one is the first query of the second program, then the second query, then third query, then ma'am fourth, then this one is fifth, and then ma'am the third program, the tables I have created, employee, then department, then project, then works on table, then dependent table also, and then the queries. The first query, this is the second query. Here yeah, this is the second query. Then this is the third one. Now this is the fourth, and this one is the fifth. Then the view creation, this one, and then the fourth program, the tourist place table. Then tourist table also I've created over here. Then visits table. Then email table, and this one is the first query. This is the second. This one is the third. This is the fourth one. Then the fifth one. And the last program here I've created the tables: constituency, then party table, then candidate table, then the contest table, and the voter table. And this is the first query, the second one, then the third one, the procedure I've created and executed over here, procedure successful. Then then the trigger one. That's all, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, I've got that first program for explanation.
Okay.
Yeah. The first program is create the following tables with the with properly specifying primary key, foreign key, and solve the following queries. In this, I have created that 5 tables: branch, student, book, and author, and borrow table. Then for creating branch table with the attributes branch ID, which is primary key, branch name, and HOD, and then student table with which is having USN as the primary key, name, address, SEM, branch ID, which is reference from the branch table. And then the third table, author, with author ID as the primary key, author name, country, age. Then fourth table, book ID is the primary key, book name, author ID, which is reference from the author table. Then publisher, and branch ID, which is reference from the branch table. Then the fifth table, borrow, which is has USN, which is reference from the student table. Then book ID, which is reference from the book table, and borrowed date. And with this, with insert into branch values with branch ID, branch name, and HOD, we can insert the values. And by the query select star from branch, we can display the tables. And then insert into student values, USN, name, address, SEM, branch ID. With this query, we can insert into the student table, and then we can select star from student to show the table. Same for the author. Insert into author values, author ID, author name, country, and age. And then we can do select star from author to display the table. Then insert into book values, book ID, book name, author ID, publisher, and branch ID. And then we can show the table. And then same for the borrow table also, insert into borrow value, USN, book ID, borrowed date. And then select star from borrow for displaying the table. Then the first query is the list the details of the students who are starting in second sem. For this, we'll do like select S, USN, S name, S dot name, S dot address, S dot sim, B dot branch name from student, which is having the alias name as S, and branch B, where S dot branch ID is equals to B dot branch ID, and B dot branch name is equals to MCA, and S dot SEM is equals to 2. This will show the student detail who is studying in MCA and is in second SEM. Then the second query lists the students who are not borrowed any book. This will give the details of the students who have not borrowed any book till now. For that, we'll do select USN name from student table, where USN in select USN from student minus select distinct USN from borrow. Then the third, display the USN, student name, branch name, book name, author name, book borrowed date of second sem MCA student who borrowed the book. For this, we'll do select distinct s.usn, s.name, br. branch name, b. book name, a. author name, bo. borrowed date from student s, book b, author a, borrow bo, branch br, where s.usn is equals to bo.usn and s.branch id is equals to br dot branch id and s.sem is equals to 2 and br branch name is equals to mca. It will show it will show the details of the student who have borrowed the book and of second sem. And the fourth one is display the number of book written by each author. It will give the count of the books written by each author. For that, select a. author id count, b. book id from book b author a, where b. author id is equals to a. author id group by author id. Then display the student details who have borrowed more than 2 books. It will give the details of the student who have borrowed more than 2 books. For that, select s.usn count bo book id from student s, borrow bo book bk, where s.usn equals to bo.usn and bo.book id and b is equals to bk dot book id group by susn having count bo book id greater than 2. Then display the student details who have borrowed books more than one author. It will give the details of the student who have borrowed the book with more than one author. For that, select s.usn count a.author id from student s, borrow bo book bk author a, where s.usn is equals to bo.usn and bk.book id is equals to bo book id and a author id is equals to bk dot author id group by s.usn having count a dot author id greater than 1. Then display the book names in the descending order of their names. This will show the book name of the books in the descending order, and for that we'll do select star from book order by book name DESC. Then the last is list the details of the student who borrowed the books which are published by the same publisher. For that, select s.usn, s.name, b.book name, b.publisher from book S, book student S, book B, borrow BO, where s.usn is equals to bo.usn and b.book ID is equals to bo book ID and publisher b.publisher is equals to DTT. It will show the details of the student who have borrowed the book which has the publisher TTT. And here in the schema we have branch table, student table, book table, author table, and borrow table. In the branch we have branch ID, branch name, and HOD. In student, USN name, address, SEM, and branch ID. Branch ID is reference from the branch table. Then in book ID, book name, publisher, branch ID, and author ID. Again, the branch ID is reference from the branch. And an author ID, author name, country, age, and borrow, USN, book ID, borrowed date. Then in the schema diagram, there are the branch which is having the 1:n relationship, branch having the attributes branch ID, branch name, and HOD. Branch has students. Students have the attributes as USN name, address, SEM. student and book have end-to-end relationship. Student borrow book, borrow is having borrowed date, and book is having author ID, book ID, and publisher. And branch, one is to in relation to book. Branch has book, and author has one to end relationship with book. Author writes book, and author have the attribute as author ID, author name, country, and age. That's it, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Next
shall I?
person. Yeah. Yes, Benita.
Ma'am, shall I after Benita? Nishant.
Okay.
Ma'am, I'm presenting, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Sneha, ma'am, I'm presenting.
Yeah, yes, yes, Neha.
Ma'am, I got second program. Consider a cricket tournament ABC Cup organized by an organization. In the tournament, there are many teams are contesting, each having a team ID, team name, city, a coach. Each team is uniquely identified by using team ID. Here they are given at one table, that is team, and team ID is a primary key, and other columns like team name, team ID, city, and coach. A team can have many players and a captain. Each player is uniquely identified by a player ID having a name and multiple phone numbers, age. And another table is player, and here player ID is a primary key, and other columns are like a name, phone number, age. A player represents only one team. There are many stadiums to conduct matches. Each stadium is identified by using stadium ID having a stadium name, address. So another table, third table is stadium. Primary key here, primary key is stadium ID, and another columns are like stadium name, address, which involves in city, area name, pin code. A team can play many matches. Each match played between two teams in the scheduled date and time in the predefined stadium. Each match is identified uniquely by using match ID. Here, match ID is a primary key, and this is a fourth table. Match is the fourth table. Each match owned by any of the one team that also wants to record in the database. For each match, man of the match award given to a player. So here we have to record all the data into the database, and man of the match award to be given to a player. And these are the queries. Before that, we have to create table. And first table is player. Here we have taken player ID as primary key because each player ID should be unique. So player ID as primary key, and each player ID data should be stored in the data type varchar with size 10, and player name, age, and phone number. And here player ID is a primary key, so it should not be null value. And second table is team. Team ID as a primary key, team name, city, coach, captain references player ID, player of player ID. Player ID is a primary key in the player. So captain is also one of the players. So captain references from the player of player ID. And third table is match. Match ID is a primary key, and result references from team of team ID. Man of the match references from player of player ID. And next table is stadium. Stadium as a primary key, stadium name, city, area, phone number. Fifth one, place. There is no primary key in this table. So match ID is reference from match of the match ID. Team ID 1 and team ID 2 references from the team of team ID. Stadium references from stadium of stadium ID. Match date match list with data type varchar. Time with data type varchar. And last table is plate 4 with data type varchar and team ID. And here we are inserting values in the table player for player ID, player name, age, phone number. And next in team table we are inserting values for team ID, team name, city, coach, captain. In match table for match ID, result, mom. In stadium table for stadium ID, stadium name, city, area, pin code. In place match ID, team ID1, team ID2, match stadium ID, match date and time. And in plate for inserting for player ID and team ID. And this is the first query. Display the engaged player name, team name, age in which he belongs to the tournament. In terms of age, we have to display the engaged player. And the queries like select a player name, T name, for which team from which team he played, and P dot age from player table, team name from team table, played for which team he played, and where P dot player ID equal to PF dot player ID, T dot team ID equal to PF dot team ID. Here we are comparing whether these two are um, we are comparing a player ID and player ID and whether and we are comparing he played for particular team or played for any other team, so that team and played for to be matched. And P dot age is used to compare the age of the player. For that we are using inner query here, that is select minimum of P dot age from player P. So in a player table we are taking the youngest player, then we have to compare, then we have to display the youngest player. So here we are displaying player name is Rahul, and he has played for two teams, Delhi and RCB, and he is the youngest player, and his age is 32. And second query is list all the details of the stadium where the maximum number of matches played in that stadium. So queries select stadium, count of M dot matched. Here count is used to count the maximum number of matches. So it calculates how many matches they are played, and it counts all the match ID from place, stadium, match from which stadium they played, and what all the matches they played. Where P dot stadium ID equal to S dot stadium ID. Here P table in P table also we have stadium ID, and in S table also we have stadium ID, so that we are comparing these two tables, and we are comparing match ID with place and match, whether they are matched or not. Then we are grouping by stadium ID having count, and count is for maximum. So so select maximum count match ID from place P group by the stadium. So output is maximum match played in a stadium is S01. S01 is the stadium ID, and maximum number of matches 4. And third one is list the details of the player who is not a captain but got the man of the match award at least in 2 matches. Here we have to list all the details of the player who is not a captain but still he got a man of the match, and he have to at least twice, 2 times. So the query is select we need player ID and player name from player P, where P dot player ID in select player ID from player, and player P minus is only minus because he should not be a captain, and select captain from the team and player. Intersect select m dot man of the match from M group by man of the match, having count of M dot man of the match is greater than or equal to 2. Here he should play at least twice, so we are taking greater than or equal to 2. So output is Virat, he got 2 times man of the match and he is not a captain. And fourth one, display the team details who won the maximum matches, and select result count of count of M dot match ID, how many matches they have played from match team, where T dot team ID equal to M dot result group by result having count of match ID, because we have to get maximum matches, like who played maximum matches from match group by the result. So output is result got two teams who got the played maximum is T03 and T02 played maximum matches, and it is two. And fifth one, display the team name, where all its one matches played in the same stadium. So here we have to display the team name who own matches played in the same stadium. So select match ID, result stadium ID, T.city, S.city from match place team stadium, where M match equal to P dot match ID and S dot match ID equal to P dot stadium S dot stadium ID equal to P dot stadium ID and M dot result equal to T dot team ID and S dot city equal to T dot city. Here we are comparing between two tables. Result between two tables. Result from team ID, which team own from team ID, which team own in which city. So we got result as match ID is M01 and result is T01. Team 01 on the match and the stadium ID is S01 and the city is Mumbai. After that, here we are using used update query to update the city, and this is the ER diagram. Here we have four entities: player, team, stadium, and match. And player having attributes like player ID, age, player name, phone number. Player ID is a primary key, so we have to underline that. And we can have many phone numbers. And team ID having attributes like team name, city, coach, team ID. And stadium ID having attributes like stadium ID, stadium ID, pin code, city, stadium name, and match have a match ID as a primary key, and plays on which date they played, on which time, and who is the winner of the match. And this is the schema diagram. And here we have 5 tables: team, player, stadium, matches, and plate phone. Team table having descriptions like team ID, team name, coach, captain ID, city. Here team ID is a primary key, and player PID for player name, age, team ID, and like that. Here in team table, captain ID is reference from PID because captain is also player, so one of the players. So player ID is referred to captain ID, and PID is also connected to man of the match, like how many match he has won. And team ID is used from team table, and stadium ID is used in a matches table. Here stadium ID is reference. Here stadium ID is reference key in matches table, and primary key in a stadium table. And team ID and team 1 ID and team 2 ID references from team table, and winning team ID reference from team table. And the PID and phone is a foreign key, and these two are references from player table. That's it, ma'am.
Okay, we'll stop here. Tomorrow still we have 1 more hour left. People who have not completed, tomorrow you people can complete.
Ma'am, Arjun ma'am.
Tomorrow